Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel and to the next stage of working in my wedding journal. This is the journal I'm doing for my nephew, and the wedding is imminent, so I really need to crack on. So I thought I'd show you what I've done off screen, and then we're going to do a bit of work on screen as well. So if you remember, the last time I came on, I had this big pile of tags and journal cards that needed finishing off. And all I managed to do was this one, which I really love. It's very wedding-y, and I'm really pleased with it, but I didn't really get much else done. I managed that one, and I managed this this card, which is going to go in something else. I think it's going in the envelope that I made. So I've got this this card. Actually, I still need to sew around this. I've just realised I want to sew around it, so that's something I've still got to do. But that aside, I thought I'd just quickly show you the rest of the bits and pieces that I managed to just finish off, because I needed to get them done. So I've done them all off camera, but I did think you'd like to see them. So hopefully you'll be interested just to see how I finish them off. I won't linger. I'll just go through them, and then we'll move on. So I've got a variety of journal cards here. These all came in the various kits that I've been using. So this is from the Janie B Journals wedding kit, which was a beautiful kit. So I just put a little tiny bit of lace on there and a flower on the top as the topper. So that's that one. And again, a bit of a lace and a flower. This is from the Creamy Roses kit, and a little piece of seam binding for the topper, and one of my little punched flowers. With a bit of glitter on it. So that's that one. Lots of little cute tags in these kits. Another one of the tags from the wedding kit. This is from a hanky. I cut it all off. This is the rest of it. It's all so it was around the edge of a handkerchief. It's really pretty, so I just put a piece of that on the corner there. A little piece of seam binding and some pearls. Now this one is a bit more personal, because this is my mum and dad on their wedding day. And I thought I'd put that on this tag with a little bit of lace at the top and a little bit of lace across the bottom. So just a very simple one, but I just thought it was a bit more of a personal one, this one, with my mum and dad on it. And then this beautiful bride on here, so she didn't need much added, because it's already looking really pretty. So I just put on a little lacy topper and a flower and a sticker saying "so happy." It's beautiful. And then another one. This is a bit more. This is one of the Mrs. Coggs wedding images, which I cut right down, put onto this tag, and then I added an extra rose here. Bit of coffee dyed lace in the background and a little topper. So that's that one. This one just needed a tiny bit of lace, and this is one of my snippets, or snippet one from the snippet roll, which I cut down to make a little topper. Very simple one, that one. And this is a little card, little journal card, little piece of snippet on the side and a flower, and a few little bits of glitter just around it, just to lift it a little bit. This is again from the Creamy Roses kit. This is a little journal card. These are couple of the Tim Holtz little children from his paper dolls, and they look like they're at a wedding. Look like they're clearly dressed up. To me, it looks like they've dressed up for a wedding. So I thought they were rather nice to go on there. They've only just fit, but I really wanted to use them, so I've squeezed them on. And this is just a journal card, and this is a pocket. This is just one of the Creamy Roses. It's a postcard, and I've just layered it up with lace. I just thought that looks really wedding-y and pretty, and then put a little flower in the corner as a bit of a focal point. So that's going to go in as a pocket. And this is another pocket, and this is one of the images from the Mrs. Coggs kit. Bit of lace behind them and a lace across the bottom, and it just says "Together Forever," and it's just showing this couple signing the register. So that's another little pocket ready to go. And then this one is a tag with a pocket. So there's a pocket here, there's a big tag, and I haven't done very much because it was so pretty. This was paper from the Stamperia kit, the first kit that I used, which is called Ceremony, I think. And then the new kit that I've been using is called Wedding. But this was the one I used for the previous wedding journal that I made, and I just thought the paper was so beautiful. So I made this double pocket, and I haven't needed to add anything. It looks like it's got lace on it already, apart from a little tiny mini cluster really here, and a piece of lace on the top as the topper. So that's that one. And then there was this one again. I didn't do much on this. She's just a beautiful page from the digital kit. One of the kits. It's the Liana Scrap Wedding Bliss kit. That's it, which is another beautiful wedding kit. And I just love this image. This lady, a young lady, and I made it into a journal card. And all it needed was a little bit of lace, and I just put this little pearly starbursty thing in the corner, and it's all been sewn around. They've all been sewn around, so I didn't think it needed much more than that. And it's just ready to be written on the back. So that was that. So that's all those pieces. I have got others that I've made along the way, but these were the ones that were sitting there waiting for me to finish, so I thought I'd just show you them now they've been done. And the other thing I started, which I haven't finished yet, and I'm still not quite sure, I started making, I don't know if you've seen, Gail Agostinelli made these accordion booklets, and I wanted to have a go at it. I did make another one, which I'll put somewhere, I don't know, as a sort of prototype, and with the idea that I wanted to make one for this. So I've started it using the wedding papers from Stamperia, but I've got quite a bit more to do. I've created the inner accordion, and I've added pages to it, but I've still got to decide how I finish it, whether I'm going to make pockets, just double-side it and make it into journaling, partly into journaling cards like this, or make them pockets and put things in between. I've got another piece here that can make a little pocket, so I've got a little bit of work to do on it. I haven't been quite sure how to finish it, or whether, what I need to do, whether I need to add anything more to it to make it a bit more, add any other papers to it or something. So it's just been sitting there waiting for me to come back to. So it needs quite a lot of work, and there's another potential pocket there. So I'd quite like to get it done, but I'm a bit concerned that once I get it finished, it'll be so fat it won't go in the journal anyway. So we'll see. I'll have to see how it goes before I add anything, because there's got not much. There's nothing in the pockets, and so it's going to be quite a little, probably a little booklet with a bit of bulk to it by the time it's finished. So I don't know how well it'll go in the journal. So I think I'll have a think about it. I've got other things to go in, and I don't know. So I haven't taken it any further, but that's kind of a work in progress, shall we say. So that's that one. So the journal itself, I have finally, it's one of those things, sewing in the signatures, I always get nervous, and I always put it off as long as I can, because I always worry I'm going to mess it up. But I finally did it yesterday, I think. Yesterday, the day before. I did originally have a little doily pinned on here, and then I decided I didn't like it. I've cut this butterfly out of a lacy scarf that I had, and I quite like that. So I've just pinned it on for now, because I quite like that in the corner there, if you can see it. It's a little I suppose a little crocheted butterfly from a scarf. So what I've done, I have actually sewn in the signature, and in order to punch the holes in the cover itself, I used my We Are Memory Keepers Big Bite, but I forgot to use for the first hole, the middle hole. I used the big punch, the big hole punch, rather than the smaller one, and I forgot, because Pam does it all the time, and she always says use the small hole punch, and I forgot, because I always use the big hole punch to do when I'm doing eyelets. So I've got a rather large hole in the middle, and then I realised what I'd done, and then I changed it for the other two holes, which aren't as big, and I didn't use it for this. I just used my awl to punch the holes in the papers, so that's all right. If you look in the middle, the holes are, they're literally just where I've pushed it all through, so they're not so big. But I did have these rather big gaping holes in the cover here. So as you can see, I've covered it with lace. I've done that on both sides, put a bit of lace on, to try and disguise the fact that I had this massive great holes. And then on the back, because there was another big hole obviously on the outside as well, I found a doily that I thought looked quite nice there. It just goes over that middle section, and I like how it just finishes it off, covers up all the, you know, the holes and everything on the back there, and adds a little extra reinforcement, which is always good. So I think I've just about rescued my mistake. Oh dear, there's always something. Anyway, so I seem to spend half my time explaining how I've rescued the mistakes that I've made, or, you know, because this was all about mistakes as well. Well, not mistakes, but about the sewing machine playing up. So hopefully that's all. You would never know about that. So I've got this lace down here. I realised afterwards I didn't need to use so much because I'm going to put pockets here, and I have them ready to go. I found this really pretty piece of fabric. I had a pack that I bought of some vintage fabrics, and I really wanted to use a fabric, but I didn't want to use. I thought because I had this pretty, you know, light coloured, just off-white embroidered inside to the journal, I thought I needed something a bit contrasting for the pocket, so I needed to be fabric rather than. I thought the lace might just lacy might get a bit lost, so I had this piece of fabric, and I thought that would make a nice pocket there. And I cut a bit of trim. I had a bit of trim knocking around. I think it came off a top that I bought from a charity shop. So I've just sewn around it with a zigzag and straight across just to give it the finish, because I have just left it as a raw edge. And I'm going to stick it there. So you can still see quite a lot of the embroidery. I didn't want to cover up too much of it, but it's still there. And I think that will look quite nice as a pocket just there. And then I have another one. I have this one from the same fabric. So it's obviously a slightly different part of it, so it's got a different pattern on it, but it's for the back. So I think I'll start off today by sewing these pockets on, and then that's something done. Because the pockets, what I was going to use for the pockets has been bothering me for some time. I just couldn't decide how to do it, what I wanted to use, and then I just looked through my little pack. And I found this, and I'd forgotten I had it, and I just thought it's so pretty. And because of the pink roses, it picks up the pink roses in this paper, because I wanted it to be similar colours to what's here, and I do think it just pulls, you know, it just goes quite nicely with the roses in this beautiful. Sorry, can you see it? So I hope I haven't got off screen. This beautiful paper here from the wedding Stamperia pack. I just love this image of the wedding dress with the roses, so I thought these roses would work quite well with that, so I'm going to put that on. I'm going to start by doing that. If I can get me glue to come out. So progress is being made, which is probably quite good, because I've just been having a nice chat with my sister a little while ago, and they're all getting ready to get out there for the wedding. It's obviously not going to be as many people as originally planned because of all they have to quarantine at the moment. The way things stand, they have to quarantine when they get home. They have to take COVID tests when they get before they come back, and then they have to take them again when they get back, and after 2 days, and then again after 8 days, I think it is. And all these tests have to be paid for. So it's quite a palaver. So I think she said there's going to be about 17 of them out there. So actually, it's quite a few of them are making that commitment. We decided we decided not to do it, as I'm sure I've told you. And I'm not really sorry. I really couldn't face going through all that. But I was hoping that if they get this soon after they arrive back, they'll realise that we were thinking of them. I don't know if they like something like this. I mean, who knows what they'll make of this, getting this journal. They might think, what on earth was she thinking? Thinking we'd like something like that. I don't know. but I've enjoyed making it, so, and I'm sure they won't, I will never know. They don't really like it. I'm sure they won't tell me, so it's I don't really care. Because I've had so much fun making it. I actually want to bring that right over, so I need to bring it over a bit further because I want to cover up at least one of the holes. There we are. Just don't want it to be bunched up. Okay, I want it to be right up to the edge there, because it won't affect this, but it will cover up one of the dodgy holes. That's what I'm very keen to do. Okay, let's hope that's all. It doesn't matter if that's not completely stuck down at the top there, it's just a little trim. At least the pocket should be nice and firmly in place now. And let's do the back one. Ooh, got some stringy bits. I don't know if I'll add any more decoration to the pocket. It's always possible. It's a bit like Christmas, isn't it? Wedding stuff. More is always more. You don't really go by the principle less is more on something like this. So there's lots of decoration to be done in this journal, so I do hope I can get it done in time. I'd really like them to get it soon after they get back from their honeymoon. So they will be back, ooh, I think something like the 22nd of June, I think they're coming home, so there's not a lot of time. But I think I'll give myself a week's leeway. I'm aiming to get them to them by the end of June with any luck. That's my hope. But I'm going to have to really crack on. So you might see nothing but wedding videos for the next couple of weeks while I get this all finished. Just put my topper on. It doesn't take that long generally to put it together once you've made everything. So we'll see. Again, I want it to be far enough over so it covers up the dodgy hole. Well, not the most dodgy hole, but the other larger holes, because although it makes it a lot easier to put the thing together when you've got the bigger holes in the cover, they don't look that attractive. But something like this, it just made it much easier to actually punch a hole where I could see what I was doing. Okay, I think that looks alright. You still see a nice bit of the embroidery above the pocket, and I've got room to put in a couple of things. Hopefully, it's got a bit of give. Right, let's put that aside so they can dry. Now the reason I haven't sewn this on yet, I'm probably going to have to do it by hand, which is something I'm always a little bit anxious about, but I have sewn this on by hand and it went okay. But the other thing I'm working on, which I got back to yesterday because I started it ages ago and then just didn't do it, which is going to go on the front as well. You can see how it's going to work. I got their initials. I used a transfer and I've interwoven them, so there's a C and a J for Chris and Jess, and they're sort of interwoven here. So I've just used this gold thread, so I've done the C and I've linked in this J here, so the J sort of links around. So that's the idea, is that they're interwoven initials, and then I think I'm going to sew around it with the sewing machine. That the idea, I'm trying to decide what colour to use. I might just stick with the grey because it's just a pale, not too dominant colour. and that's what's in my machine at the moment, save me having to change it. But I'm still thinking I might use pink. I could use pink, but I think with the gold it might not work. So the idea is I'm going to sort of zigzag around to give it a border, and then I'll cut this down so that it's a bit smaller. I like this edge, but I don't think I think it would be just too much. Could almost make it into a pocket, I suppose. Anyway, when it's done, and I'll sew around it, and then the idea is that that's going to go on here somewhere. So I didn't want to fix this until I know where this is going to go, and then I'll probably try and put that somewhere near it. So it might go somewhere here. Not quite sure yet how it's going to work until I've finished. So so I've got that to work on, but I had actually done half of it, and then when I went back to finish it yesterday, I didn't like what I'd done, so I unpicked it all. It looked a bit, I think I'd used too thick a piece. I think I used a double strand or something, and I decided I only wanted a single strand. It was a bit more, slightly more delicate. So I unpicked everything I'd already done and did it and started again. Managed to get all of this done in one session, so I was quite pleased. So I should be able to get the rest of it done in another session. I really need to crack on with that now as well. So as you can see, there's still lots to do. So just keep that there, keep it wrapped in this bit of tissue so it keeps it all together. Okay, so while that is drying, the other thing I want to do today is, I don't know if I'll get them both done, but I want to do a belly band and a side tuck with the lace like I've done in the past. I did one for my last wedding journal, and I think I only did the side tuck. I can't remember what I did for the belly band, but I thought I'd have a go at doing one of each, but I'm not sure which one is going to get finished today. So this is just, I think this is like the edge, so it's double thickness. I think it's been something I've used quite a lot. I think it was an old table runner or something like that. I can't really remember what it was in the first place because it's all been, so I've used the fabric so much. It's a lovely cotton, really nice soft cotton fabric. So this is quite nice because it's it's double thickness, so that'll be nice for a belly band. But then by the time I've layered it up, it should be sturdy enough to use as a side tuck as well. I don't really want to put it onto card backing. I just think it's nicer to have the softness of just the fabric if it's wide enough. I hope it'll be fine. Anyway, so I've got a whole pile of lace and bits and pieces here to get me started, and a little box of, got my little box of offcuts, my Nana and Grandad box. had a picture of that we had for Christmas. So it's got all my little bits, my little tiny pieces here, which will go on the top. But the place to start might just be to put a first layer on, and I'm just wondering whether that would make a nice first layer. So it gives you a nice edge, and then I can layer some other stuff on top. So that's rather pretty, isn't it? And it just, I think I might cut it off, because you need a sort of first layer to build from. So in the past I've used just simple lace. I thought, well, I'll use this bit of broderie anglaise. This was actually cut off from a slip that I had. It was just a cotton slip, and I just cut this, cut it off. I cut it up as you do, because it was too big. So, and I think I've some of it I coffee dyed, and some of it I just left white. And I'm glad I did, because it's nice to have a bit of this sort of lovely white. Wedding journals, I think white is a good colour. Not just white, I mean I've mixed it up on this one quite a lot with lots of other shades, neutral shades as well. There's different shades of pink. There's greens in there, a bit of blue, because that's what's in the kit. So I thought rather than trying to stick too much to one colour, I have mixed it up a bit. Because I don't know what the colour scheme of the wedding is going to be, so it should cover everything. So I'll just cut off that extra little bit of trim, and I think I might just pop that on there. Makes a good starter. So I think because I'm going to sew around it afterwards, I'm going to do what I've done before and just stick things on with my glue stick, because it's just holding it in place temporarily. If I start using Fabri-Tac for this, it'll just be so sticky and gluey. I think it'll just be, well, it'll take forever to dry for one thing. Whereas this will be just enough to hold everything in place until I can sew it all. Oops, pull it up a little bit. No, I've done it. Try again. I need it to be just in the right place. There we are, that's better. Okay. Right, what else do we want? Got this little piece of, I think it was a doily of some sort. I might just cut around there, see how it goes. I'm just going to try things out, layer them on. See how it goes. Don't know if I'll use this, but I'm just going to cut around it. I've got this beautiful, I love this lace. It's all from the same piece, but you've got it in rows, so you've got different bits of it. I put that there. Oh, and the other thing I must remember to use, I had a trip to Norfolk recently, which I think I talked about in one of my previous videos, and they had a Sunday market on with a little haberdashery stall there, which was a bit of a surprise. So bought a few bits of lace, as you do, can't help myself. So I've got some pink, I've got a bit of this pretty white which has got a satiny edge, so I think I'm going to try and find use for that somewhere. And a lovely piece of cream here. But the one I thought I would like to use on some of these bits, I just looked at this and I thought, oh, wedding journal. Look at this, isn't that beautiful? So that's going to go on, but that's going to go on the last, you know, as a sort of, yeah, last bit to go on the, probably in the middle or something. It's gorgeous. So yeah, I've got to remember to use that. Keep these handy as well. I've got so many bits of lace that I can squeeze on there. Okay, what else have we got? Bits of old tissue, old hanky. It's just about layering up, really. I don't want to lose too much of the edge. This is pretty because it's embroidered as well as having a nice edge. So I can put that there, maybe. A scrap of lace there. And that's a bit of trim, that the last bit of the trim that I had that I've used on the pockets. So that might go somewhere. I'm just playing at the moment, just laying things on, seeing how they look. It's a good way to use up your little tiny scraps of lace. Let's see what else. I just okay, just checked I'm still on camera because it cut out as it usually does after half an hour. I'm just going to close this up for a minute while I'm just playing around. got this gorgeous piece of lace which I've used a lot on these journals. So I have used this as the background for something or other. I can't remember what it was, but this time I might use it more as a feature. There. Don't know. We will see. That might be. Not sure about this piece at the moment. Okay. I've got this little piece. I think I don't know where this was in a. I think this came in a little pack that I bought a while ago. I might just be able to get this little pink flower on. Nice to have a little splash of pink in there. And I've also got some little bit of pretty pink fabric that I might just squeeze in. Doesn't have to all be lace. A little bit of fabric in there, just 'cause it's very delicate. It's a little accent colour. Just cut around this a little bit more. How are we doing? Getting there. A little piece of this. I've got the to remember where everything goes, won't I, if I try to stick it on like this. I think this colour needs to be at the bottom. I think that's too much. I'll put that there. Actually, I'm going to have this piece going down like that. I think we need just a little touch of the creamier colour as well. I like it to have different colours, otherwise it's too one-dimensional. No, which way around is it? It's so hard to tell sometimes. I think that's right. Let's cut that down a little bit. Right, bit by bit, we're making some progress. Not sure about this. If I'm going to put this on, I think it'll all be too much, so I'm just going to content myself with that little tiny touch of pink there, I think. Put that there. So that's like a first layer, I think. I'm quite happy with that as a first layer, and then I shall build it up a little bit more. But I'll stick these down first. I'm going to need to just trim this off a little bit. Okay, so now I've got to try to get these things to stick. So where's my glue stick? Just want to tidy this up a little bit. That's that there. Oh no, that was going to go underneath there, wasn't it? Looks like I'll have to trim that off a little bit at the top, but I'm not going to fiddle around trying to make it, put it in the perfect place. Whoop. Oh dear. Overglued a little here. Straighten it out a bit. Get that bit off my thumb. So where did my... Oh, there we go. There's always a bit of something knocking around you can wipe your fingers on. Where did my bit of paper lace go that was going here? Here it is. No, that's upside down. It's better. Put a little bit. Try and be a little bit more delicate this time. Don't need too much glue. Right. I think this one is here. And then I've got this piece to go here. I'll put that on. Now, which way round is that? Yeah. Okay, this one next. Then this one. Can go there. Have I got that the right way up? needs to go that way up. That one goes there. And then this one. Check the way up now with this one. Can you tell? Not really. Feels a bit more bumpy on this side, so I'm going to do it that way round. There we are. Right. Okay, and I had this little piece of lace. I'll put that across there like that, I think. Just because I like it, and it's just sitting there waiting to be put on. Okay, so we have a first layer, or second layer now. So now it's a case of picking a few things to just make it look even prettier. And the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this lump of glue that's just landed on here. Now I had somewhere, I've got, there we are, a wet wipe. Get rid of that. Okay. Right, so now what do we do? I do want to put a piece of this on, so I'm going to cut that ready and work everything else around it, I think. Should probably, I think I need to just trim it down a bit. There we are. So that can just go in the middle there. It's a beautiful centrepiece. Bit of glamour. And what else have I got that will just lift the other parts? Haven't got anything suitable. Let's have a look in my box of gorgeousness. Ooh, a couple of boxes with some gorgeous things in. Ooh. Right. I do have my lovely rosette trim. I might put a bit of that on, maybe. I will try it out, see if it looks too much. A little bit of this pink might be nice. Or I've got white daisies with pink middles. Maybe that'll be a little bit less in your face. Maybe one or two of those would be nice. Bring a bit more pink in. And I've got to put a little pink pearl in one of these, maybe. Just to bring the little touches of pink here and there. Something like that. I don't want to overdo the pink, but it's nice to have just a little hint here and there. What we've got down bottom here. Something pretty. Oh yes, I've got those. I just think that's probably too much to go on one of these. Isn't that gorgeous? I put that on the front of my other journal. The other wedding journal. Ooh, I think it's going to be too much. I wonder if it'll go on the belly band. I might keep that handy. I've got one or two places that I might be able to use that. We will see. What else have I got? Anything else I want to use in here? Don't think so. I'll put that to one side for now. Don't know if I've got anything in the other box. There's not so much in here. Let's have a little look. Got a few doilies. What's this? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I could have used that, but it's very similar to what I used anyway. That's a bit gorgeous, isn't it? I wonder if I can squeeze that into somewhere. I wonder if it'd make a little pocket or something. I might just keep that out. You never know. Oh, and there's that nice bit of new lace that I bought. Right. Put that on. Put the other lid on. I want to try and see if I can put a bit of lace along the edge. I think that might just be enough. So there was this new lace with the bit of satin trim that I like the look of. This one, I wonder if I can put a bit of that somewhere. Maybe not all the way down, but maybe, or would it make a nice finish along the other side? Maybe it would just finish that off at the edge. Let's see. If I was just to put it along there. That quite gives a nice finish along that edge, I think. Yes, I think I quite like that. Have I got enough to do? It'd be quite nice to use this on the other piece on the belly band. Yes, there's enough. Good, good. Okay. So, right, I think I'm going to do that first. Just gives it a nice little edge. Tidies that up nicely. That's great, I like that. Okay, Fabri-Tac I think will be the way to go with this. Let's do it lightly, because I won't be able to sew along the actual satiny bit, so I want to make sure it's well stuck down. Oh, I'll have to sew around that bit, won't I? Yeah, I'm going to have to be careful how I sew. Maybe I should sew before I stick the decorative bits down, I think. Maybe that's the way to do it. Okay, let's see if that's going to stick. Should do. Should have enough on there now. Right on the edge. There we are. Okay. So I think what I'll do, I think that will be enough. I'm going to see if I can find a little pearl to put in my rosette. How does this open? I can never remember the way. No, that's the hinge. It opens that way. Alright. So I've got this pink pearl, which I think I can nestle in there. Right. dollop of the old Fabri-Tac, so it goes right in the middle. To go quite well in, so it's not too, doesn't stick out too much. There we go. Just nestles in the middle there. Then you've got that little touch of pink. And that will go quite nice in that. So and then I've got the nice, just little highlights. So I think what I'll do, I will sew around this. I haven't quite decided if I need a little bit more. I think once I've sewn around it, it won't be too bad that there's not. I don't want another line of lace along there, because I don't really want it to look too regimented. I think it's got, because it's got this nice scalloped edge, so I think that will be, and I've got a bit of stitching down here, I think that'll work okay. So I'll stitch around it and probably down the middle, and then I'll stick these on afterwards. So I think that's something I can't do right now, but you can see how it'll end up looking. But knowing me, I'll probably change something anyway, but we'll see. You will see when I put it all together whether I've made any more changes or additions. I know I was going to use a bit of this, but I don't know if it needs it now. Okay, so that's the side tuck, I think, for now. Let's have a look at the other one, see if I've got time to do the belly band. Which is that bit narrower, so I won't need to put so much on, so I won't be able to use that. Would I be able to put that on? No, maybe not, might be too big. But anyway, let's just start in the approved manner and put something along in the background. Would that work? It's got to be something that's the same both sides really. This is too wide. Not quite. Lace. Maybe I've got a nice wide piece of lace that I could use. That might work. This one's going to be too wide, I think. Let's see. Let's have a look. I don't think it matters if it sticks out a little bit at the sides, but I want it to be not straight on one side. I want it to be kind of have the same pattern both sides. And you don't get many like that. Most of them have got like a straight edge. Okay, I think that's all I've got. Another one that might work. We'll see. Let's try them out. Okay, so I think this video might go a bit long, so I hope you don't mind. You can always stop and start or wind it forward, but I want to get these done now. So I'm just going to keep going. And the last video I did, which was the one, the bird journal one, was a bit on the short side, so you've been a bit shortchanged on that one. So I might go a bit longer on this one. I quite like the idea of a little bit of prettiness sticking out of the sides, so that's a definite possibility. And then there was this one. Oh, that's quite nice. It's about the right width. Do I want it the right width? That's the question. Or do I want it to stick out a little bit? That is really pretty. Oh, too many choices. Right, so that's definitely also an option. It's a case of whether I want to stay within the bounds of the fabric or whether I want to just go a little bit either side of it to give it a little bit of pretty edge. That's the question. That's also pretty, and it has got the scallop both sides. Oh gosh. I didn't think they'd all work. So I've got two that fit perfectly, and then this one gives me a bit of extra decoration at the sides. Don't know. I think they'll catch. No, I think I'll go with one of the other two. This one's very pretty, but the other one's got the scallops either side, doesn't it? And this one you might end up losing all the pretty pattern in the middle. Whereas the other one, it's actually the prettiness is in the scalloping and not so much in the bit down the middle. So maybe this is the better option, because then I can put some more things on top. Yep, that is the way I'm thinking at the moment. So you've just got that little scallopy edge. In fact, what I might do is cut it down the middle and just stick them just so they stick out just a touch either side. I could do with it being, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch wider or something on either side. So what I might do, I think, if I was to cut it down the middle and then just have it like just enough over that side on each side. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll pretty up the middle. Okay, let's glue that on. Right. Oh, there's a big lump of glue or something there. Get that off. Where's me wipe? Ooh. Okay, so see if I can actually get it to go on. I'm going to have to do it the other way around, I think, do it. So I can see what I'm doing. All these pins, I have to pin all my laces back together. I just want it to be just a little. Right, so we've had an hour. Be warned, we're not there yet. So I'm going to keep going. This could be a long one. Put the kettle on. We're going to be here for a little while yet. If I ever get this stuck in a straight line. There we are. I think I've got it on. And I'll do the other piece. Where's it gone? There it is. Try and do the same so it looks the same both sides. Just that little bit of scallop sticking out. I should have done it this way the first time. That's better. smooth it, make sure it's flat. So there we are. So we now have a nice scallop edge on both sides with a bit of a gap down the middle, but that's fine because I'll fill that in now. So what else are we going to use? Now I've got that far. Got to decide what to put on it. It's a bit trickier when it's narrow. I do love this lacey. It was lacey hanky. It was such a pretty lace. Oops. I'm going to put a piece of that on. Yeah. Put that there, I think. Right, we're off and running. A few little scraps here. Let's put that up the other way. Let's put that up that way. Like that. I've got this little piece. Still keeping in the theme of not going too white, bringing in a few other neutral shades. Just a little bit of lace here. I've got this piece of the daisy trim. That can go there, can't it? Put that up there. Or I'll put that a little piece at the bottom there. Because I've got the scallop going that way, I'm just wondering whether I want to echo it with more scallop going that way. I want to still use a piece of this as well. Maybe a smaller piece, I think, on this one. I could cut it. So if I'm going to try and put a little piece of that on there, try to get rid of that piece. Perhaps I can go there. Just a little lacy bit there. Is that too much? I'm wondering if I've got too much of the lacy, it's going to be too dominant, isn't it? If I cut one off, I'll either use two or I'll use one. Or I use them, I could separate them out. Really like that there. I like that there. Maybe I'll put that there. With another little pearl, that's the word I'm looking for, little pink pearl perhaps in the middle there. And maybe another one of those, a piece of this, no, I want a piece of that, no. What other little tiny bits have I got that I can just stick on. I've got a little piece of this coral. Just knocking around. A little dash of the pink. Take off that edgy bit. Do a better job. Just a little touch of that. Just nice to bring in a little bit of colour without overdoing it, hopefully. Wonder whether to do another little daisy at the top. I think I will. And then just get out the pearls. Again, I love my pearls. I think I prefer the pearls to the sparklies myself. Personal choice. Just happen to have two little ones here, so I could just pop one in the middle of each of those daisies, couldn't I? Let's just pop that on for a moment. Actually, I'll just separate them. Okay. Where'd my Fabri-Tac go? I have to try and be a little bit circumspect with the Fabri-Tac. I don't want to overdo it. Is that even the right way round? Always the question, isn't it? Which way round should it be? Can't see that it makes an awful lot of difference, to be honest. I'm going to go with that way. Oh, that's a big blob. Seems to be all or nothing. Either I've got the big blob or I get hardly any. Okay. Is there actually any on there? I can't really see. I think there is a bit actually. Okay. Let's, where's my pearls go? There they are. I think I'm going to need some tweezers just to, because they have got a little adhesive on, but not enough to hold them. Whoops, hold them in place, and they're jumpy. Get into their little space in the middle, Mr. Pearl. There we go. I don't know why he's a mister, but there we go. Right, so that one is in there. Let's have another one on here. Check which way round it looks like it should go. I'm going to go for that way. Try and do a little blob. Get my last little pearl. There we go. Here he is in the middle. Alright, let's, I think I need to stick some of these down now before I forget where they go. Right. Oh, actually this is stuck down, so that's alright. That was here, wasn't it? See, I hope you can see that piece there. And where was I going to put this piece? Was that here? Was it there? Oops. We'll put it about there. Just a little hint. Okay, let's just put some little touches of glue. Put that piece down. And that's got to go on last. This goes on next. It's already got a bit of glue on it anyway, so that's good. If I come to the end, I'm almost at the end of the glue stick. Hopefully there's just enough on there just to hold that down. Whoa, it's pulling off the other lace. I think there's enough just to hold this in place. Now, I've just got to decide if I want a little bit more before I put it aside for sewing. I've got my finishing touches. This and this and this. Do I need a little bit more around here? And my thinking is, yes I do. I do need a little bit more of something. Not sure what. No, I'm going to put this here, aren't I? So that doesn't need to be there. I could use a little bit more. What about a piece of this? I'll try it. Just cut a piece off and see how it looks. Just take the edge off, I think. How's that? So I'll put that there, and then I put this trim there. No, it's too high. There. So this needs to be up a little higher, doesn't it? So you can just see the little bit of flower on that piece. There. Stick that on there before it all starts to unravel, because it looks like some of the beads are coming off already. Got my little daisy down here and my other little daisy up top. Yeah, I think that will do. I may end up putting something else here, I'm not sure. This is starting to unravel. I think I've cut it too close. I may have to cut another piece. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this on. Is there any glue in there? There's enough just to hold it in place, I think. No, I don't want to cover up too much of the other lace. Okay, I think that will be fine there. And I might need something here. What can I put? Not that. Already got a piece of that. Oh, what about the little pink fabric? Well, I've got this bit of pink here, so I don't really want more, a different pink. Not too heavy. I need something delicate. Maybe a piece of this, after all. Straighten up the bottom. Right there. It's trying to interfere with the scallop, I think. It's a bit too wide, as I did it that way. I could do that. That might work. Just a little extra something like that. A little leaf. There. I think that's what I'll do. There. Okay. We have a belly band. Ooh. So I can't completely finish it because I've got to sew it, and then I can stick my bits back, stick my decorative bits on. But you'll see it, you know, when I do the next stage of when I start putting the journal together. So I don't think I need to come back on and show you them just those bits. I'll show you how it'll look anyway. So we'll have our little daisy here, and another little daisy down here, and a piece of beady trim up the top here. The beads are all coming off, so I'm going to have to cut another piece and try not to cut into the area that's holding the beads together. So I'm going to put that about there. There is a chance, and a very strong chance, that I'll put another daisy there or something, possibly, or some other little thing. I don't think this is going to work. It's too big. Shame. It's just not going. It's just too much on there. So whether I put another little daisy, I might even cut off the trim so it's not quite so much, and then just pop that there maybe. That's possible. In fact, I think it's very, very likely. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to do that, but without the extra bit. I just pop that there with another little bead, pearl, in the middle. So I think I've gone on long enough. I'm sorry about that. It's like well over an hour. I just got so into it, and I just love making these lacy things. I really enjoy it. It's just so much fun, just layering them up and making them look pretty. So there we go. Done quite a lot in this video. Got the pockets on and got these almost finished. Obviously I've just got that little bit of finishing off to do. So there we are. There's our side tuck and belly band ready to be finished. So thank you very much for joining me and staying with me. If you've managed to make it to the end of the video, well done. Go and have a lie down in a darkened room now to recover. Okay, bye now. See you soon.